Assalamu alaikum. Peace to you all. Bismillah. In the name of Allah, God. Is there really a God? To answer this question, we just need to think a little about the world around us. Before this, let's give the example of the atheist Karl Marx, a famous philosopher from the 19th century influenced by Charles Darwin's theories. In his writings, he described the theory of chaos, describing the weather and the patterns he observed as chaotic. Through his theories, he goes on to justify atheism and support the slow process of evolution throughout time. So let's have a closer look at chaos and what that really means. If you take notice of the clouds in the sky, the patterns they make, the density, and even the rain they bring, you'll notice that it is chaotic and that there is no set pattern. Then take a look at the trees in a forest, their arrangement and size. You'll see again that there is no set pattern, or even the falling stars in the sky. Prediction of these chaotic patterns are practically impossible, and natural disasters are but another factor to add to this chaos. But have another look. Through that chaos there are millions of delicately woven systems. Look at the plants and the trees. How can they germinate without the wind, the bees, or the flies? Who will pollinate them? Look at the bees, the animals, and even us, how we breathe. Where will our air come from without the trees and plants? And the trees and the plants, how can they breathe without the animals or us? One cannot sustain without the other. Look at the sun and the water. Without them, nothing living can survive. Think about gravity. Think about the solar system. If Earth were to stray like a comet, we would all perish without the sun. Think about the returning comets and all the planets which swim through the universe and never collide on their paths. Think about the day and the night, the spinning and orbiting, and never going off track. Think about your heart. It needs lungs to supply it oxygen, and to supply oxygen to the brain, to send messages back to the heart to pump it. It needs the blood to transport the oxygen. It needs the veins to carry them. And let's not forget the nervous system too. Don't you see that each part requires the next in order for us to live? And the heart never misses a beat. What would Darwin say? That the heart came first or the lungs? Or maybe Dawkins is better to ask today. Can't you see that everything in this world and this universe is intricately connected? That if you take one thing away, you'll lose another, and then another. And then there's the reproductive system to consider. You've probably heard the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg? So give that a little more thought. How on earth did an evolved being start reproducing by eggs and fertilization? And in the case of the man, he must have accidentally grown something, and the woman not. And then the woman accidentally started ovulating, etc., etc. Do you really think that's plausible? Of course not. Allah created Adam. From Adam's rib he created Eve, and then the process of reproduction began from there, as did all living things. And additionally, now you have everything that you require for life, and this is obvious by the living creatures which surround you. So now Allah asks us, as translated in the Quran in Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22, verse 73, O mankind, a similitude has been coined, so listen to it. Verily, those on whom you call besides Allah cannot create a fly, even though they combine together for the purpose. And if the fly snatches away a thing from them, they will have no power to release it from the fly. So weak are the seeker and the sought. So with all your readily available resources, can you even create a fly? The best you can do is interfere with the reproduction laws already established by God. And can you even create blood with all your technology? Why are you seeking blood donors and liver donors and heart donors? If it all took place by a mere accident, why can't you make even one? because the closer you look in with a microscope and the further you look out with the telescope, you find a system so complex and intricate that you can't really comprehend. But these are the signs which we have been advised to think about. Allah states in the Quran in Surah Al-A'raf, chapter 7, verse 185, which is translated as, "Do they not look at the dominion of the heavens and the earth and all things that Allah has created? And that it may be that the end of their lives is near. In what message after this will they then believe?" So in reality, the theory of chaos is only an evidence to a supreme creator, the one who created everything and continues to sustain his creation. And we ask Allah, God, to make us sincere to Him only. And we ask God, who has power over every living thing, to guide us to the truth. Amin. Jazakumullah khaira. May Allah reward you all with good.